Hello people of YouTube, I hope everyone is doing well. So this is a video response to RODGY, Retro Gaming, and I'll put a link below to his channel, which is absolutely awesome. And I'm loving his current series at the moment about his gaming memories and his kind of going through the years, showing his kind of the consoles he loved, consoles perhaps he might have fallen a little bit out of love with, the games he had, the places he bought these games from. It's just like, it's really addictive viewing. And he's released, I think, about 4 or 5 different like levels, stroke chapters, and it's amazing. So go and check it out. And if you're not already subscribed, give the channel a bit of love, and yeah, get viewing. It's really cool. But RODGY, put out a kind of a community, not necessarily a challenge, maybe a community kind of question around, what do people collect aside from the obvious, and the obvious being, video consoles and video games. And for me, I'm a bit of a mass kind of collector, jack of all trades collector. So of course I love my video games, but I love loads of other things as well. And it kind of year on year kind of continues to kind of grow. Back in the day I did, I sold on a few bits. But now I'm fairly hesitant to do that in case I kind of regret. But as a result, it means I've got loads of stuff. So this is just like a little fraction in the mini games room, stroke office, depending on which way my camera is swiveled round. So I've got stuff here. I've got stuff in most of the rooms. I've got a particularly tolerant wife, thank God. Otherwise, I don't know what I'd be doing with this stuff. I've got stuff in the attic, stuff in other places. So I kind of try and rotate the view here, or maybe downstairs in kind of the kitchen bit, a few bits on the shelf, so to keep it hopefully interesting. I kind of rotate some of the items from time to time, but yeah, it's far broader than video games. And I've got a sample of things which I'll go through. I'm not trying to do a cross sell, but if you want to have a look at more of my stuff, and then it's on Instagram. So it's exactly the same username. So it's RetroEd UK. So if you want to go and take a look at that. But I'm kind of picking every week or couple of weeks one of the items, or maybe a group of items from that collection, and then doing like a let's get physical video, just to get into a bit more detail on that. But yeah, I mainly focus on obviously there's video games, but then there's kind of toys, bits which I had back in the day, but then also things which perhaps I wanted back in the day but couldn't necessarily afford, which now are a bit more disposable kind of cash, as long as they're not like crazy money. Then I'll kind of go after some of those items. Also like movie related bits. So in the last few years I've got more and more into auctions, and it's not a bad way. It's a bit of an investment up front, obviously depending on the lot, what you're going for. But you can kind of get a decent lot for like an okayish price, sell on the bits that you don't want, obviously retain, it's very basic kind of principles, but keep the stuff that you're really interested in, perhaps within that broader lot, sell on the rest of it, and kind of get most of your money back, or even look at some things which perhaps originally you wouldn't have gone for, but are like kind of absolutely fascinating. And in the past, a few kind of actors have sold their various kind of belongings. I picked up like photos, Polaroids, signed like posters, signed like action figures, and sometimes it hasn't always been explicitly referenced within the lot, but once I've got it and I've sifted through, you found some real gems. So I'll pop up a picture of a really cool Star Wars lot that I picked up towards the end of last year. Loads of stuff in there, really cool. And some of it, like I say, I already had, I passed on. Some of it was more modern, not really my kind of collection style. So again, I passed that on, and I was just left with these, absolute gems, to me. So yeah, so there's games, toys, movie, film related, memorabilia, bits like that. An absolute kind of crush on Star Wars, and again it was just growing up, had a lot of the action figures, but my collection of Star Wars is pretty much everything to do with Star Wars. So yeah, I got the figures and a lot of the vehicles, but there's a few items here which I kind of touch on, but even the Marvel Star Wars comics, I kind of collect them. In some of my early videos you probably see it as a backdrop, but I've got one of the early kind of Star Wars comic prints kind of blown up, Stan Lee kind of signed, and all that stuff. So that's probably one of my you know, top 5 kind of items which I absolutely kind of adore and have the pleasure of looking up at it most day when I'm working, for a bit of motivation to get me through the day. So yeah, I mean, as part of the Let's Get Physical kind of series, of which I've done I think 3 videos so far, I'm going to kind of pick on these various items and get into a bit more detail. So I've just picked a handful of stuff today that kind of skim the surface. So yeah, in terms of toys, whole random set of stuff. I've got a little Panthro here, so very recently really getting into like Thundercats, and there's been a few kind of reimagined toy ranges which are pretty cool. This is one of the kind of originals. Good old Panthro, got a little thing on the back so he can either look like he's running at a million miles an hour or whopping some badass. So yeah, got some of these. Some of them played condition. This guy sits handsomely on the shelf. So yeah, I don't kind of obsess or get too OCD about it. He's being mint and all that stuff. I like the nostalgia. So yeah, it's one particular thing. In terms of Star Wars, again, some of my previous videos I've gone through some of them, but I do collect kind of sealed. This certainly isn't mint on card, but a fairly nice condition R2 Return of the Jedi. Even you can see it's unpunched at the top. Hasn't even really been put on a shelf. I know over the years this one's already yellowing like a little bit. Yeah, they kind of degrade, but it's still pretty cool item. So I've got loads of these, but I do love R2. And then what other bits and bobs. So still sticking on the Star Wars theme. It's long gone. I had a really cool department store in Southend when I was a kid growing up, Keddies. So this is like a bit of a flyer that came from there with some of the vehicles. So I think me and my mum must have grabbed a handful of these back in the day. It's not even like folded. I've got quite a few of them, but things like this are really cool. And if I can kind of pull my finger out and get a bit of time, then I might have a bit more space. I might kind of frame some bits like that. But I've got loads of stuff like that. Fan club bits as well, which I hadn't realised, but yeah, not a million miles away from me. But the fan club was based in Malden. So yeah, I just love things like that. I mean, look. Mail away for like a doesn't even really look like Chewbacca, does it? It's like bloody Planet of the Apes. Indiana Jones stuff. I mean, it's pretty cool. So I love bits like this. And I've got other stuff. I've got like press packs as well from kind of the film releases, all sorts. Real niche thing, but in Japan, Coca-Cola, when the Star Wars films came out, they did like special edition bottle caps. So this is the Coca-Cola one, but if you turn it round, you've got like the escape pod. I've got hundreds of these things. I've just pulled out like a handful. Again, Coca-Cola. Leia with C-3PO. I'm going to go for all of them. Yeah, another one of Chewie. Fanta one this time. A couple of Imperial Star Destroyers. So yeah, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Also other Star Wars bits. You're going to think I'm an absolute blooming lunatic. Actually, one. Peter Cushing. Love that one. Grand Moff Tarkin. Fanta. Yeah, like I say, you're probably going to think I'm a lunatic, but sticking to the Star Wars theme, it's even like combs. This one's obviously sealed. It's a bit bent, but still quite nice. I've got some out of a box, like the Falcon, which is like stuck on the top. You've got the droids, your R2. Get your comb out. Love to take this to work and get going on that one. Fantastic. Yeah, kind of flicks open. You got a mirror as well. Absolutely awesome. Who makes these things? Or who made these things? And then here, look, you got the land speeder. You got the droids in there. Cheeky little star thing. Bang! You got another comb. Yeah, silly bits like that, absolutely love. What other stuff? Comics as well. I don't have a massive comic collection. But yeah, every kind of now and again, I kind of go for it, and this is probably one of the better ones. It's a fairly early-ish edition, Spider-Man, fairly good. Good knit, again from an auction. Someone's selling off loads of stuff, like Marvel bits, DC stuff. I only really went after this this one item. I'll probably do like a Let's Get Physical thing over it, and pop a video to go through it all. As opposed to rushing through and probably tearing the bloody pages. I'm not quite going to get the tweezers out for this one, but I'm going to give it a bit of due care. So stuff like that, autographs as well. So you've been to probably not as many kind of Comic-Cons and stuff as of late for obvious bloody reasons, but when I do, try and pick up some stuff. So the guy in the behind the suit of Marshmallow Man, Ghostbusters, which was cool. This film scares the absolute shit out of me. The Shining, autographs from the two twins, which is pretty brilliant. And yeah, I'll pick out. I've only grabbed those two. I've got quite a few, but I'll dig out some for other videos. And then the final thing, again, it is just a bit of a smattering of the collection, but just kind of movie related books. So I'm sure lots of you who are kind of around my age remember the kind of the read along books where you got the book, but obviously you got the cassette. So just the cassettes are in the other room. That'd be me. So this is my my original Ghostbusters book. Scary Slimer, which is pretty cool. This is mine. Hasn't got my name in there. Hasn't got my name in this one. It's a little bent around the edges, but yeah, the A-Team. Cops and Cops. Check out the gang. Pretty cool. So George Peppard. Yeah, so I've got loads of them. I've got all the Star Wars ones. I think a couple are like my original ones, and then I think it was Return of the Jedi I didn't have, so I had to get that more recently at a bit more of a slightly more pricey cost. They produced loads of them back in the day, so they are fairly accessible on the likes of eBay, and then kind of movie related books, but mainly sticking to the classics. So that is it, guys. So that's just a little selection. Perhaps I'll leave a link to, if you want to have a look at my Instagram page. You can see some more stuff. I'm forever kind of collecting, and through the YouTube channel, as well as focusing on the video games, I kind of want to use it as a bit of a portal to show some of the other things in the collection. And that's it. So thank you, RODGY Retro Gaming, for a really kind of cool question. I've seen loads of other kind of responses out there, so if you haven't done one already, then sure, I'd love you to do one, as would I, as would loads of other people in the community. They're just really interesting to see what people collect aside from video games and consoles. Big love to not just the kind of new subscribers, but the people that kind of stuck with the channel since the beginning back in February. So thank you so much. I'm going to continue to try and get out at least one video a week. I think at the moment I'm averaging nearly kind of 2 a week, but just kind of juggling a few commitments. So we'll certainly continue to put out some content. If you like this kind of stuff, or you want to see a bit more of a detailed view of any of it, then obviously let me know within the comments, and then I'll try and kind of address that in a future video. And with that, I'll kind of love you and leave you, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks very much.